Happy belated May the 4th be with you, Star Wars Day, which
Thank you,
was
sir.
Sunday. How'd you spend your Star Wars Day, brother?
Training like I spend every other day.
I just burnt my mouth with hot coffee. I just burnt my mouth with I was not expecting that, okay? He's like, dude, when they drop Order 66, I gotta be ready,
Yeah,
dog.
you gotta be ready, man. You'll gotta be like Ahsoka. You'll learn that when you make it to that episode in the Clone Wars 7 years later.
Dude, I am ready to start that series, man. I'm getting closer to it, dude.
I mean, you were about as close as you could get when you sent me that picture.
And then my lady was like, can we just watch Return of the Jedi instead? They got Ewoks. I was like, deal.
You had me at let's watch something else besides it.
I'm telling you, it's going to happen. I'm going to watch. I'm creeping towards it because the video I sent you the other day with those guys were explaining how like Anakin's just like a badass general, and him going to the council and being like, what do you mean I can't be rank of master? Right? You explained it, but those guys were super intense about it. They were more intense. I think they were more pissed off than Anakin was at the council in that video, right? I'll share that video on our socials. Those guys were pretty dope about that. But no, I'm gonna have to watch Clone Wars, man. It's gonna have to happen now. So
sounds good to me.
Yeah. But no, seriously, how'd you spend your Star Wars Day?
What did I do Sunday? Well, it was the only day that it wasn't raining, so just went out and did some normal work, household work. Had to do some lighting work in my trailer. Had to redo my wiring in my trailer. Other than that, mostly chores and stuff.
Did you watch any Star Wars?
No, I did not watch any Star Wars.
Okay, that's pitiful. Okay,
I mean I took one day off. All right,
exactly. Did you use the Force in any way on Sunday? Okay,
I tried. I'm still, like I said, I've been training, so we're still working on it.
Good deal.
It's not going well, but
good deal, man. Good deal. Yeah, dude. ROT. Oh, I woke up, turned on Empire.
Okay.
So I was eating breakfast. I made a breakfast sandwich, and got some coffee and watched Empire because it's a great movie.
Right.
I love that the Empire wins in that movie. It's like sad. It's like when Thanos won at Infinity War. It's just sad. Right. And then we were gonna watch. I said I was gonna watch Clone Wars. I was like, dude, we just got to do it. Let's just spend like 7 hours watching episodes, get into it. And ROTJ came out. I was like, I was not mad about it at all.
Nah,
the only thing that I do have a problem with is we only got to see Luke Skywalker be like the awesome Jedi Knight for one movie, and really for like 2 scenes. The Jabba the Hutt scene, and then like against his father, Darth Vader at the end, right?
Yeah.
I want a whole movie. How badass would that be? We never got it.
There are rumors of a series that I've seen.
Is this why you're training? Are you going to play Luke?
Yes.
It makes sense now, dude.
I don't think I can say that, actually.
Kevin Feige's going to whoop your ass.
Yeah, I got to go.
You and Tom Holland are the worst.
I gotta move.
I think you're wanted now.
Yeah.
In all localities. That's the only thing that like I wanted, man, was a Luke Skywalker adventure after ROTJ. And I wonder, was there anything for him to do? He destroyed the Empire. He was good,
Yeah, I mean, as far as TV and movies, not much for him, but pretty sure there's comics that fill in a lot of those gaps.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Him rebuilding the Jedi Order and stuff. Yeah, man. I think that's what we're gonna get Rey to do in her next movie. I hope.
Right.
That'd be dope. Yeah, man. What about your Cinco de Mayo, dude? What'd you do? We record on a Monday, but it was Cinco, and I like my chips and salsa and my tequila chilled, and that's what I did yesterday. Okay. What about you, man? What'd you accomplish with your Cinco de Mayo?
I worked. Then
loser.
Just kind of hung out the house and watched some TV.
Did you have some chips?
No, I didn't have any. I actually had a salad, which was very
taco
delicious.
Salad. I'm trying to do a tie-in here, and you're ruining it at every corner. You don't watch Star Wars on Star Wars Day. You don't eat tacos on Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, man.
I know you don't drink tequila, so I know that didn't happen. Gosh, killing me, Smalls.
No. But
you're actually on. I watched Black Panther and Black Panther Wakanda Forever over the weekend is what I did. That's how I celebrated those holidays. Hey, I'm not mad at you. Yeah, went and got some food. Right. Ate and drank and did a little salsa dancing last night. There was no salsa dancing. It was at a Tex-Mex spot.
It's also dancing anything.
I do. I definitely do. Welcome to this episode of Movie in a Pod. I'm Clyde Smith.
And I am Javier Villalobos.
On this week's episode, we're discussing trailers for Together, The Smashing Machine, and our movie of the week, The Thunderbolts. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I do the voice work for David Harbour in all of his movies, so you're welcome.
Yeah. He doesn't like to do ADR, so. That's what I hear.
The word on the street. Team, we have some. David Harbour, if you listen to this pod, please let us know. Do you hate ADR? I really want to know now. Team, we got some new trailers coming at you here Together in the Smashing Machine. We have Dave Franco and his wife Allison Brie in some horror film, and then we have The Rock and the amazing Emily Blunt in the Smashing Machine about the early days of UFC fighting. Team, you can always click that link tree in the show notes and check us out on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube for a full pod and a clips that we have as well. And like always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
I love you.
I don't like it already. Turn it off.
Not a fan.
What's going on?
I don't know.
I also don't like his hair.
Tim and I haven't been on the same page.
Please. Do you love each other?
Maybe we're just complacent.
Well, you know, complacency can.
They both look creepy as hell.
Simply be.
Yeah.
Yep, this is weird.
Harmony.
I don't like it.
You know, this could
I
be the
don't need to have nightmares
Roll
already.
over that you're on my hair.
of something wonderful.
Tim.
Okay.
We spend our lives in search of the other half. If you think you found that, don't be so quick to let it go.
I do that in the shower all the time. Oh, I don't do that part though.
I think something's happening to us.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
There's some bad things going on right now.
We've got to get out of here. Now.
Best horror movie of the year.
I don't like any of this. What the hell is happening here?
It's gonna be okay.
Just don't.
Nope.
You'll be
Don't like it.
okay.
I just don't get it because like
Whiskey for the pain.
Cut off a leg or something?
Hey team. We just watched the trailer.
We did.
Called the movie's called Together. Written and directed by Michael Shanks. IMDb says a couple's move to the countryside triggers a supernatural incident that drastically alters their relationship, existence, and physical form. Getting this August 1st.
Yeah. Pretty weirded out by everything that was going on there.
Really gross. Really gross.
Looks like we got solid 2-person cast. What it seems, I didn't see one other person in that trailer.
There was like the therapist, I think, Damon Harriman.
Oh, yeah.
And then like the people in the video, but
Are you
yeah, it
just
looks like most of the screen
point
time
it
is
out
going
like
to
that?
be.
Not gonna. Can you back me up? All right, that's cool. But you're 1,000% correct.
But you also have like the majority of the trailer screen time, and it looks like the movie is going to be Dave and Allison. So you are not incorrect, sir. And this, like, I don't know, man. I don't like movies like this. Like, I like movies like this, but I don't like watching movies. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like,
I
I'm
would
gonna
rather
watch this.
I would rather have like a monster than like a mental breakdown situation.
That's what it seems like. Yeah.
Yeah, like are they just, you could get into where like somebody drugged them or something's happening. I'd just rather see a monster and know that is the point of horror, not trying to figure out the horror.
Yeah,
If that
like
makes sense.
there's a monster coming to get us. You throw water on them, we're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my cup of tea. This is, it's like all in the mind of them.
Yeah.
Is it like an actual like supernatural event happening, or legit are they just breaking down
Right.
due to their marriage or whatever, their relationship?
Crazy.
5 stars. No.
Be there day one.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch this, but it's gonna be cringy because I don't like stuff like this. I don't know. I love it's like Dave. You know what it is? I think Dave Franco wants his 127 hours moment, and this is him doing it. Right? That's what it is. You saw like he's gonna chop off something at the end,
Right.
of that trailer. So who knows?
I mean,
Team.
what I saw was all intense. It looked like pretty solid work for what it was. But I ain't trying to be freaked out for like months.
Nope.
I don't need another fear.
Nope. You're like never gonna touch your wife ever again. Be like, nope, we're good.
Look, I don't want you to cut my arm off. So.
Team, we're gonna throw Together on our socials, starring Dave Franco and Allison Brie. Let us know your thoughts.
Probably looking at my eyes.
How did that happen?
Dang.
Well, have you ever heard of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the UFC?
Man hasn't had hair
the bloody
in
thing they're
decades.
trying to ban.
think that's the first time I've ever not seen him as just being The Rock.
Do you hate each other when you
Dwayne
fight?
Johnson.
Absolutely not.
How do you know Mark Kerr?
Oh, we go way back. But he's a buddy of mine.
Come on, baby. Too much?
Never.
Too much?
No.
Please welcome in his Octagon debut, Mark Kerr!
Winning is the best feeling there is. It's 40,000.
So big.
And they're cheering you on. There's no other high like it in the world.
It's so weird that he has hair. He hasn't had hair since the rundown.
No contract,
Yeah.
no money.
No money.
Did he have hair in the
Do you
rundown?
have any stronger
Yeah.
pain medication?
Advil?
Advil?
Yeah.
There's a lot going on there.
No.
They're handing them out like candy. Let's all get in. Everybody get in. Yeah, Don, can you take this picture for us?
Yeah.
What are you thinking at the beginning of the fight?
It's simple. Am I going to hurt him before he hurts me?
Oh, wow.
This Grand Prix to crown the greatest fighter in the world. He has come back from the brink. Let's see if he can pull out a victory over Mark Coleman.
Oh,
Have you
he didn't have
spoken
hair
to
in there.
him about fighting such a good friend for a life-changing amount of money?
I just need you to let
So
me in.
huge.
Always about you. Only about fighting you.
Oh, he's bald now. And his hair again. Are we time traveling? I'm so confused. Little soul patch he had?
Oh, man.
Yo, was The Rock trying to
I can
act?
watch your autograph.
Sure, no problem.
Something.
No fighting.
All right, team. We have The Smashing Machine, written and directed by Benny Safdie, also written by Mark Kerr. According to IMDb, the story of mixed martial arts and UFC championship Mark Kerr. Dwayne Johnson, Emily Blunt, Ryan Bader, Bats Rutten, and a bunch of people I don't know.
Fair.
But I don't even know anything about Mark Kerr. Do you?
Not at all, no.
Like, I'm not a UFC fan, so it's not like I would know
Yeah.
this guy. But
I mean, like,
I am a big fan of Benny Safdie, though. He's a really good writer. He was, he's an actor and he's a writer. So he written Uncut Gems, which was really, really good.
Yep.
Daddy Long Legs was good as well. So, he's done some really interesting stuff as far as in the writing world that was critically acclaimed. I am just skeptical of the elephant in the room, and he's about the size of an elephant, right? Dwayne Johnson, it seems like this guy's really trying to act here, and I don't know how I feel about it.
oh, he's portraying. He's got to be somebody here. He can't be himself.
Yeah,
Right? It's not a character. He can just be Dwayne Johnson, and it's awesome. It's he's got to morph into somebody, and I don't really know if we've ever seen that
like this
from
type of
him.
performance out of him.
Where he's got to try to be something, right?
True.
Like
yeah.
he doesn't have like a creative freedom to do kind of whatever he wants to. He's got to portray an actual person.
Well, actually, there was a movie that came out in the early 2000s, okay? He played a warrior, okay? The Scorpion King. That was a real person, okay? And he had to go to my man's castle and figure out.
Didn't that movie win some awards?
Yeah, all the MTV Movie Awards. No, you're right. You're right though. This is the first time I think that he is like portraying. Well, no, he was in the football movie too, where he was the coach, like Gridiron Gang or something like that. But I think he had a little bit more freedom there because that is not like based off of like the man who he's portraying is not in the room, right? Mark Kerr is one of the writers, so he's got to do it justice. I want my actors that I enjoy seeing to branch out and get better at their craft, right? I call it the Kristen Stewart effect. She did 19 Twilight movies. The last few, she actually was acting in those. Like, and I appreciated the evolution. You know, like Kevin Hart is turning out to be somebody who can actually act.
Yeah.
And that is be himself.
I think too for certain people like Kevin Hart. I mean,
yeah,
you want to see Kevin Hart be funny. You want to see Kevin Hart deliver Kevin Hart. And you usually don't care what that is or where that comes from when you watch a movie with him in it.
True.
But I mean, and The Rock's kind of been the same way, right? You see The Rock and you expect, you know,
either take somebody's head off,
either the tough guy, you got a tough guy, you got a funny guy. Rock's really pretty funny, and
he has good timing, good comedic timing.
Or, you know, you want to see the baller, right?
Yeah,
like, but now you can see him play some dude that he has to be that guy,
and it seems like a very emotional, psychological story that he's going to bring right to this guy in the early years of UFC, like before it got as popular as it did. I'm excited to see this, man. This is going to be a interesting, and then you have like the star power of Emily Blunt to kind of anchor, right?
Yeah, we definitely did not talk about her at all.
We're not getting a no name. Yeah, she looks fantastic. Randall Park is a lucky guy. But she's the anchor. She's a fantastic actor in her own mold.
Oh yeah.
Where even when they were in Jungle Cruise or whatever the hell it was called, you know, she lit the way for that film to do as well as it did.
Yeah, agreed.
Can she do the same thing and like pull people along? You know, when certain actors get together, they bring out the best in each other, and she did that for Dwayne Johnson in Jungle Cruise. Will she do that again here for this movie? And was that like an intentional casting, right? Because typically with like the girlfriend or the wife, we can go a lower tier or no name actor. Nah, Benny and Mark and Dwayne went with like one of the hottest A-list actors. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see how this plays out, man, and how the acting unfolds. I'm rooting for the Smashing Machine to make some noise and be a great performance. And
I think it'll be pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know if you saw it yet, but like Zac Efron in like the Iron Claw, which was similar to this, which is in that world of like fighting and hurting all the time and stuff like that.
Yeah, I caught that about a week or so ago, actually.
Yeah. Long movie, but like understandable, right? That was actually like he pulled in a good performance, Zac Efron himself.
Mm-hmm.
I want something like that for Dwayne. So yeah, guys, we're gonna throw the Smashing Machine on our socials and let us know your thoughts. All right, team. The newest Marvel Cinematic Universe film is out in theaters right now.
Oh yeah.
And JV and I have watched it, and we're super excited to discuss it here. Team, we have Thunderbolts with an asterisk at the end. This was released May 2nd, 2025. This film is written by Jake Schreier directed by Jake Schreier, excuse me, and had the screenplay by Eric Pearson and Joanna Kahlo.
We have a $180 million budget, and so far it's grossed $160.5 million. Starring this, we have Florence Pugh as Yelena, Sebastian Stan as Bucky, Wyatt Russell as John Walker / U.S. agent, Olga Kurylenko as Antonia Dreykov, or the Taskmaster, Louis Pullman as Bob Reynolds, or Sentry, Geraldine Viswanathan as Mel, Wendell Pierce as Gary. He just has one name. David Harbour as Alexei Shadakov or also Red Guardian, Hannah John Kamen as Ava Starr Ghost, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus as Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, brother, go ahead and give us a quick synopsis of this film.
A bunch of lonely superpowered soldiers and Yelena find themselves working together to save the world from yet another threat in New York.
Always in the damn NYC, man. Always.
Just the worst place to be when there's a threat and a world threat.
Like, remember, before we even jump into this, you bring a really good point up, man. Like, it is the worst place. So remember in Twisters how the tornadoes kept happening and they keep rebuilding after the fact?
Yeah.
I would just leave New York. I would never come back to New York. After the event of 2012, the Utari or whatever the heck they were, nope, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'd rather go fight a tornado than this. This is wild, okay?
Yeah.
I have to deal with, like, the Hulk picking up my Jeep. I just paid this thing off, man, you know?
Yeah.
You're going to throw this at
nothing.
He missed. He missed. You pick up my Jeep and you miss. You mother
get like
trucker.
letters from companies that are like, your Jeep hit our building. It's like,
how the hell did my Jeep did I put my Jeep on the 30th floor? Okay. How did I do that? Of 30 Rock? Like, how the heck did I do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, New York just could. I mean, that's across franchises too. That's not even just the Marvel universe.
Yeah. New York
That's
just
crazy.
gets
That's funny.
beat down, man. If it's not New York, it's Chicago. I still remember. Like after Michael Bay did Dark of the Moon, there was like 3 or 4 movies like the following summer, which is like everyone decided to destroy Chicago, and Chicago was like, "What the hell did we do, man?"
Yeah,
I know everybody hates New York, but what the hell about us? Oh man,
yeah, exactly. Wow.
Let's start at the top here, man. We have the main protagonist. It's a joint film. We have the main protagonist, Florence Pugh, as Yelena Belova, and I do want to say, I really did not like her in as a character in Black Widow. I enjoyed Black Widow. I did not enjoy her. I feel like she was just kind of, I don't know. I just didn't pull up for her, right? I pulled up to see that the last ScarJo film, and the fact that we got Yelena as like passing the mantle off. I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. She just doesn't fit the mold of a new Black Widow. But I like what they have done since, right? She was in Hawkeye.
Yeah.
So, I do appreciate that. And she's now in this role. They put her as the lead. Probably the best actor out of this cast. So, definitely appreciate that. And they center on her and her journey.
I think she had to act more than the other cast in this movie.
Yeah.
Like she was the one getting all the emotional strings pulled on her, it seemed like.
And with those emotional strings, and I'll talk about that later, right? I think everybody had those emotional strings, but she was the one to kind of form it into a Black Widow, hey, right, and lead the way there. So I did appreciate that. She is bored out of her mind when we meet her in this film. Like, she's just going through the motions, right? Like, she's almost on autopilot. And what I really enjoyed about this performance is we've all been there. No matter what the hell the job is, no matter what the task is, or at school and stuff, like, sometimes you just lose that fire, right? That fire in your gut about what you're doing or why you're doing it. And are you making a difference? And is this still the thing that's going to be able to get you through to the next day? And that wasn't for her anymore, right?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. The more you're in a job, the better you get, unless you're just trash. So she was still good at it. She was still top of her game, right? Top of her class. But she just didn't care anymore. Didn't like it. And I like that was the focal point for her. And she reached out in wanting to do more. So that's real life right there, man. That's what I love about Marvel comics, is they give us these larger than life characters, right? But they have them so relatable to us in our stupid little human lives, right? That's why Spider-Man is one of the most revered characters on the planet, because he is one of us. I love that. And that's what they did with Yelena's character in this film. The fighting, the stunts and everything, so badass. But the emotional journey that she goes on to also try to like weave and web these people together, hilarious, fun, and like interesting. And you have to have a very strong actress in Florence Pugh to pull that off, and she does, man.
Yeah, she's definitely puts her whole self in this.
Yeah.
From emotion to, like you said, the fighting, the choreography, definitely showed the work. She's able to put in.
Let's talk about one of the oldest human beings on the planet, Mr. Freshman Congressman from. It was just so weird, dude. Right?
It really
Freshman Congressman from Brooklyn. Sebastian Stan plays Bucky Barnes again in this, man, and he's living in DC, and he's a congressman, and he's doing the thing, and we have these congressional hearings for Valentina and the weird stuff that she's been doing as the CIA director and all this nonsense, right? And he's just kind of like learning the ropes of how DC works and everything, and trying to get things done, but wants to go back to his old ways of trying to figure it out, right? So he paints that's a really good writing for this character, where he's old world and he's also like in the new world as well. Is like, look, back in my day, we would have strung her up by her feet and beat her senseless until we figured out what the hell she's up to, right? But I'm a congressman now. I can't do that shit anymore. Right?
Nope. Can't do it.
But you see that on his face, like that's what he still wants to revert to and do, man. I really like. What's up?
Was a former well-known assassin, like, become a congressman? I don't like that. I didn't. That was like too easy of a thing to like. It was a little. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a little weird that this guy that everybody knows he's the Winter Soldier. They know he's a super soldier. They know he's done all kinds of stuff. He's just walking around, government buildings, doing whatever he wants to do.
You gotta think though, man. Everybody loves the redemption arc.
Yeah.
Especially,
no, I
especially in New York, man. Look,
that's
how many times did New York say we don't want the Ghostbusters? Right? And then they came back.
Yeah.
And Bill Murray even asked, Think she's wearing anything under that toga? You know, like these questions need to be asked.
I wonder if he got an answer. I don't think he did. I don't remember.
Right? But like everybody loves a redemption story. Like even us in the real world, we love a redemption story. Look at our current president. It's a redemption story, right? He's back in office after all the weird crap that took place, right? Not going down that rabbit hole, but you also have to think about on the other side for Bucky, right? He did kind of save the world a few times.
But
you know,
but you also have
he helped out drastically.
You have a John Walker who is a military veteran who like killed one guy, and now he's tossed in the pit.
Yeah, he's also a douche though.
I mean,
maybe he doesn't have a PR person. Right. Maybe he doesn't have a PR person like Bucky. You know what I mean?
He did not get linked up in the right network. Right. Yeah, I got you.
He is not with the right firm handling his publicity, okay? Bucky is on point right now.
Yeah, he's met a lot of people over his time.
But I like that I like how he gets back into the game.
Yeah.
Where he's seeing that like, okay, I can't do it like this. I don't know how to do it like this as a congressman. This is just not me.
Yeah.
Can't be doing that. I have to do what I do well. Let me go join up with the rest of this riffraff and figure it out.
And I'll tell you a good looking scene in this movie is him driving that motorcycle in the desert.
Yeah, okay. I wanted to talk about that.
When he pulls up on that motorcycle.
Yep.
That is a badass scene.
Does it remind you of a movie that came out in 1992, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, directed by James Cameron? It was straight T2 vibes, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when he's on the motorcycle, the T1000 is in the
shades, everything.
The T1000 is in the Mack truck or whatever, right?
Yeah.
He's taking the shotgun, flipping it, shooting again. I'm like, dude, that's straight. But adds like a stoppie. Oh my god, so badass, dude. So badass. That was one of my favorite scenes of the movie.
Same.
Because they're all like, woohoo, yeah, Bucky's here. Yeah. Then they're just like, oh shit, Bucky's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, just a great character arc here. We have Wyatt Russell reprising his role as John Walker / U.S. agent. He's an enhanced super soldier. He was supposed to be the successor until he let a black guy whip his ass and take the shield. You know what I mean? So hey, man, that's what we do, bro. Wakanda forever.
Yeah. So John Walker's interesting.
But like he is definitely still has all those skills of a great military, like decorated hero.
Yeah.
He's just a douchebag. He's just a douche.
And what's weird is like I really didn't like him that much in Falcon the Winter Soldier, and I think that was planned, right? You weren't really supposed to like him. But as I'm watching this movie, I'm starting to like him a little bit. Like he's growing. He's still an a-hole, but it's like he's so funny in this movie, and like he hits the markers to where you're like, okay, that dude's pretty funny. He's got some good timing.
Yeah,
but I mean, he's still a douchebag. Yeah.
And like a big thing I want to talk about here in a little bit is, the need of therapy and having like anxiety and depression and a bunch of other things as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that could be just like something masking his depression, right? Is what I feel, because we keep on getting flashbacks of like him and his wife, him and his wife and his kid, and like an argument and stuff like that, right? And then him losing his family or whatever, like they leave or something. We find out later. Right, where that should just be like a mask for how he's really feeling, right? Some people cope with depression like that with alcohol. Maybe he does it with just being like quippy as hell and being an asshole, right? Who knows?
One thing that really sticks to me from the end credits for John Walker Did you see the picture where he's like riding the shield?
Yeah.
Like the taco ship.
The taco ship.
I was howling in the movie when I saw that. That
was good,
That's
man.
like the image that's burned in my retinas.
Oh yeah.
Just of
Oh,
him
yeah.
riding that.
That was good there. We got Olga Kurylenko reprising her role as Taskmaster from Black Widow, right? And we're seeing all these characters outside of Bucky. They're all meeting in this underground bunker that Valentina like tells them to go do this mission and kill this person. They all have somebody, right? It's basically like a death trap for them all. And the one person who does die in this super early on in the movie is Taskmaster. Gunshot to the head, man.
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't really go through the weeds of why things were done, but it could be another situation where, just like that happened in Iron Man 3, where they actually want to use the character of Taskmaster down the road, like, and do it justice, do it right. Instead of with Antonia Drevoff from the Black Widow, where there's like going to be an actual like official Taskmaster or something. He's going to be a guy and he's going to be badass or something. I don't know. Whatever. That's kind of what I've been hearing through the grapevine. I actually liked her as Taskmaster in Black Widow. Like to see more of her, but I guess in a situation like this, somebody has to die, right? In the kill box.
Yeah, yeah.
If everybody comes out of the kill box, it's like, really? Was it? It was not a good kill box at all.
Yeah, terrible plan.
All right, man. We have Lewis Pullman. Lewis Pullman plays Robert Reynolds. Lewis Pullman was in a movie, I believe, where he was already called Bob, right?
Was it?
Yeah. He was actually called, this is the second time he's called Robert in less than 5 years. He was in Top Gun Maverick. He was Bob. He was Lieutenant Robert Bob Floyd.
Yeah.
And his call sign was Bob. So in this movie, he's Robert Bob Reynolds.
It works, man.
It works, man. You look like a Bob, bro. In this one, he is we meet him in the kill box. They don't know how the heck he's even there. He doesn't know how the heck he's there. Suffering from amnesia. And as we continue to learn more about this kid, he's invincible. He's basically like a super. So he's basically like all the things of every Marvel character in one. Like, remember what they did at the end of not Secret Wars, but whatever the hell the show was with Nick Fury, whatever that show was, right?
Yeah.
They tried to combine like some of these super serums and stuff like that,
right?
And it didn't really work. They kind of perfected it with Bob, and he is Valentina's like answer to No More Avengers. He's all this, but he also has really mental health issues that kind of take over the entire film, especially like that third arc, which is different, right? This is something that we haven't really tackled much. Like we've tackled a little bit of anxiety in Iron Man 3 with RDJ, but really other than that, man, PTSD maybe, but that's just, they're all heroes, so they have to suffer from something from time to time. But this is really big where a main character, the strongest person in the film, has all these mental health issues, which is like healthy that you have them. That's just life. We all go through stuff. But to not vet the person who's going to be the next god, Valentina, right? Like to make sure, like, past like one mental stability test.
Yeah.
None of that. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Put him out there.
Yeah. But he is her Valentina's hero before he ends up being the villain of the film, and these Thunderbolts Asterix has to stop him. Yeah. And we'll talk about that more here in a little bit. Geraldine Viswanathan, still can't pronounce your last name, but you're a fantastic actor. You were just in You're Cordially Invited and loved you in that. Right. And you're great in this role, right? She's almost like working both sides. She's doing everything she wants to do to like advance her career working for Valentina, but at the same time she has her reservations. And she kind of works hand in hand with Bucky to kind of be like, yo, this chick is crazy. Yeah. I don't know if I can trust her, but I also don't know if I can trust you, right? So there was like her playing the both sides thing. I appreciated that performance out of her. Chris Bauer pulled up as Holt. I love seeing Chris Bauer in things every now and then. When she was talking about like get Holt on this, I was like, who the hell is Holt? And then when I saw it was Chris Bauer, I'm like, perfect. Love this guy. Always good in everything he does.
Yeah.
Wendell Pierce as Gary, a congressman. He represents like that old, like we were talking about earlier, like that old world of this is how we do it in DC.
Yeah.
Nah, fam.
Bucky ain't got time for that. Bucky he ain't got time to put no packets together.
Yo, he did say something wild, like, dude, we got a wicked little packet coming tomorrow. Yeah. He was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He was really excited for this freaking packet, dude.
Yeah, he really was, yeah.
Oh, man. A couple other people want to talk about here. David Harbour as Alexi / Red Guardian. David Harbour, man. He doesn't miss.
Yeah, he really brings the dad right into the mix. Like he's not just another superhero. He's like, he's the dad. He's tries to talk them. He's the motivational speaker, right? Yeah. Tries to make them all feel good about themselves and talk them up and everything like that. And the man's just funny. Like he's got a way to bring this character to life that you want to see him around. You don't want him to go nowhere. Right. We want to keep seeing Red Guardian. Just because he's just a dude, right? He's just another guy, like just trying to make some money, trying to make a living, and he's a super soldier who's struggling to make a living.
Yep.
Like, what does he say? He's like he's just trying to get Valentino's number. He's like, I'll go work for her. That's fine. Give me her number.
Oh, you're done? All right. I'll fill in. But like straight like big dad energy is what he brings in this movie, man. Obviously, like you said, for Elena, but he's that dad father figure for the entire team.
Yeah.
If they want it or not, like they're gonna get it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But let's talk about somebody who he's like David Harbour as Red Guardian is. They gave him. I mean, and they all share kind of the comedy, and we'll talk about the comedy a little bit when I talk about like my wrap up and everything. But he was just naturally funny in this, man. Like he wasn't trying to hit marks and hit like comedic timing. It was just naturally a thing that he just embodies when he's Red Guardian, because he did the same thing in Black Widow.
Yeah,
he was just really like he was just being himself with this Russian accent as this like father superhero super soldier type guy, man. And he's my favorite in this film. He's my favorite character by far in this film. I really enjoyed him, man. Hannah John Kamen as Ava Star Ghost pulls up from Ant-Man and the Wasp. It seems like she's no longer having those weird flashy thingies that took place you guys can tell how much me and Javier are into like the lore of Marvel films, right? The flashy thingy that happened in Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think that's the official term.
Thing with the stuff happening.
With the stuff happening. But she becomes a very important part of this team as well, of assassins, killers, stuff like that. I just wish they would have gave her more meat on the bone for like her script. Kind of pushed to the background, and she is actually really, Ava Star's a really good actor, and Ghost could have been really interesting with everything Ghost can do. But they just kind of like put her to the background, and you have such a large bloated cast, and Wendell Pierce has to get his lines in about his fun packets. So I get it, right? There's not enough time, right? I don't know well enough time.
Big salary, tight contract for Mr. Pierce.
Exactly, man. He's also filming the movie with John Krasinski right now. So it's, he's important. The next Jack Ryan movie. So important guy. All right. And really, like we talk about Bob being our heroed villain, but the real villain of this film is the great Julia Louis-Dreyfus as Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. Like one, like JLD is one of the best actors ever, right? She's just been fantastic in anything that she's ever done, and she brings it here, where she is cocky, she's confident, she's sexy, she's like just is smarter than everybody in the room. Like she just embodies so much, and she just stays ahead of the game every single time. And that's like the makings of a really good villain, a really good antagonist, right? She's supposed to be like, she's the director of the CIA, so like in our mind, good guy, right?
Right. That's the one that can play, or the one on the surface looks like a good person, and then behind the curtain is just the worst intentions.
Exactly, right? Where she's trying to cover up her dealings with this firm that did some illegal stuff in a third world country, and that's kind of how everything gets flowing in this film, is like for her. She was just a really cool villain, man. Like she just knew. Like I love it. I love it when they drive straight into the lobby of Avengers Tower, right? And they're fighting, and it's like a 2 to 3 minute fight scene. Right? Everybody's doing work, kicking ass, right? Breaking necks or whatever. And she comes over the intercom. She goes, "Guys, you could have just knocked, right?
Yeah.
Knew you were coming." Right?
Yeah.
So they just like hit the elevator and go upstairs. Like it was hilarious, right? She's always one step ahead. Yeah. She was awesome, man. JV, I don't know about you, but like I was absolutely thrilled that this movie was filmed like on location. This was cool.
The whole movie, like specifically in New York, the New York scenes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really brought a good live feeling.
Yeah.
Like I was watching, I mean, even if it was just like extras in the background, the flow of traffic, the flow of the people was like, it really looked like people were like super confused as to why these people were just standing in the road. You know what I'm saying? Like why are these people in costume just standing in the street?
Yes. So when Yelena and Alexei walk off, right? And she has all these weapons on her, and he's in this big ass red costume thing. Like I noticed that as well. People in the background are like, what the I mean, it is New York, so it's kind of normal, but at the same exact time, people are still like, what the is happening here?
Yeah.
But dude, like the opening scene where she jumps off the tower, they're in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, right? They're in New York. They're like in New York City, right? A lot of the interior scenes were shot in Atlanta, Georgia, like they always are.
Cool.
Like I said, man, like it's just a world that is very lived in, right? They filmed in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, New York, out there in Utah. Just really lived in, right? Not everything was just on a blue screen or green screen, right? Like this is what we need more of. I really did appreciate the look and feel of this film, man. Probably the best looking film in a while that they have done.
Yeah, I'd say whatever they did, it really looked great. Like I said, it really felt like I was standing on the street with these other people going like, what is happening? What? I mean, I'm sure they were actually probably like, oh, here we go. It's happening again.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go inside because I know the building's about to start exploding.
If I see a superpowered person, I just need to evacuate the area, okay?
If somebody's in costume on the street and actually, I don't even know if that's a thing. I mean, there's probably people in costumes on the street all the time around there.
Yep. Times Square all the time. But it's like they need those like Godzilla bunkers is what they need in New York.
No kidding.
They really dude, that's our business plan right there.
Yeah,
okay?
Let's do it.
We're gonna teleport to the Marvel 626 and we're gonna build those bunkers.
There you go.
Yeah, you're welcome, New York. We saved you. Right? No, but I like them shooting on location, not just like a green screen or a blue screen. That is very important, man, because it adds so much depth to the movie where you're like, dude, there's actual people behind you guys. There's actual stakes here.
There's real buildings
when these things are like happening. I as much as I liked the Captain America 4, you know, at time when they're using green screen and blue screen, well, okay, well, the stakes are low. You feel that, right?
Yeah.
I want to feel like the civilians are in danger and my hero is trying to save them or like may help them avoid the danger. We got that in Thunderbolts, and I appreciate that. We got that also in the last time I think we really got that in a movie, in a Marvel movie, man, was Winter Soldier. Yeah, still one of the best. But I really liked just the look and feel of this, man. Every location just looked sexy and dirty and grimy. I like that little gas station that Bucky had them all tied in, man. You know, like the death trap scene that looked cool. Just really, really cool locations that they had in this film, man. And I saw it in RPX. Like, go see it on the big format. Like, I highly recommend that. That is really dope. Thunderbolts, man. Sexy.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. I do have a theme here.
All right.
This film has a lot of nuance here, a lot of meat on the bone for the script, right? Yelena and her feelings of being stuck and wanting more purpose. Bucky and Walker wanting to be better men. Bob and a sense of loneliness in the world. There's a lot of inner demons, right, that are brought forth on the big screen here. And I was there for all of it, man. Like, how does one cope with anxiety, depression, loneliness, fear, right? All these things that people go to therapy for, and all these like real world things that people deal with. Even our heroes, our anti-heroes, right? Our super powered people have to deal with this shit. How do we as a society go through life? And the theme of this film is them going through it, but like you're not alone, right? You can, like, you know, when I'm going through something personally or you're going through something, right, we can bounce off of each other, right? Hey, you need something, this is what's going on, man. Like, that sense of community is huge.
You gotta be able to get those thoughts sorted out, right?
Exactly.
You don't want them just jumbled up in your head. You kind of get them laid out and have somebody help you kind of sort through the mess.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like Yelena understood the assignment in the third act, right? And then everybody was kind of like, all right, well, I'm going to follow too, man. And
Yeah.
instead of this big ass fight with, he was Sentry, then he turns into Void at the end.
Spoilers.
Go see it. Right. We end up with a different outcome.
Yeah.
And I loved it, man. I'm sorry. Like that, it was like, last time I was telling Jen, like the last time I got emotional in a film, the last 2 times was Black Panther 2018 at the end.
Of course.
And Black Panther Wakanda Forever 2022 in the beginning. I came to tears. I came to happy tears and I came to sad tears, right? Like back to back.
Beautiful movies.
2 beautiful movies.
Beautiful.
I kind of shed a tear here, man. Because like you and I both know people who suffer from this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just like those people. Like it's something that like we've all dealt with anxiety. We've all dealt with depression at times, loneliness and fear, right? And I'm not talking about fear, like going to see a scary movie, like crippling fear where you cannot move forward in life.
Right.
We've all dealt with some instances of this, man. And this is what this movie is really about. And I really appreciated Disney, Marvel, Kevin Feige, the writers, and everybody involved having this as the central theme of a movie, because I believe this is something huge that a lot of us deal with, and it's not talked about enough on such a big stage. So to have that, man, was gripping. Thunderbolts, asterisk, dog. All right, team. That's our conversation about 2025's Thunderbolts. JV, I think I already know, man, but give me your thoughts and ratings on this film.
Yeah, I had a fantastic time. I think, we had a Sentry, right, in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
The little bit of time we got with him was very entertaining.
Yeah.
like he stepped into a crazy opposite role, like over a few minutes, right? Like he was down in the dumps, Bob, and then he's superhero Sentry. And that little
hair.
Yeah. Did you dye your hair? Yeah. I would have loved to see more of him, but I know we're going to see more of him in the future.
Yeah.
So that's fine. And I think that's really the only thing that I was kind of like, I would have liked to just see this guy just a little bit longer. Even if it was like one or two, like one act of something to really, really, really show him off. And then we go into the final piece of his puzzle. But other than that, man, I really had a good time. I'm going to give this one 5 buckets this week.
Nice.
Pretty solid. Fun film. Very, very fun.
Yeah.
And no, like, really, really over-the-top superpowers until we get the Sentry.
Give me that all day.
Just a fun movie, man.
You know why those type of movies resonate with me more? Obviously, like Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
This is, they're more human, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
When your heroes and villains are more human, we can relate to them more. It's just appreciative, brother.
Yep. Agreed. How about yourself?
Yeah, dude. For me, this is 4 buckets popcorn film right here, dude. This did exactly what I wanted to do and delivered quite well. Like, the whole thing was, this is Marvel's version of Suicide Squad. That's what everybody talked about as soon as Thunderbolts was announced. And they did it way better than David Ayer's Suicide Squad. Now, saying that, they really should have let my man David Ayer, who wrote Training Day, cook. But whatever, that's beside the point. the studios messed him up, but whatever. The action had a great feel to it. Not shaky cam. Everything was in frame. I appreciated that. Like when Bucky or Walker or Sentry, when they like do something, even like the gunshots, right? Everything just seemed like everything was in frame and everything was for you to see, not just this whole like Paul Greengrass, Born Identity, Born Spermity, like shaky cam crap, right? That makes you sick. You know, the comedy had a real world feeling. Like when it happened, it fit. The comedy was not forced at all. It was very natural that these characters would say these things and they'd just be hilarious. A lot of comedians, they have a lot of mental health issues, and their coping mechanism, just like I talked about with John Walker, is comedy, right? That's kind of how they get through it. So it just definitely, once you understood the assignment of this film and you think about it afterwards, you're like, that makes sense why this would be said in this moment here. Also, they shot on location. I keep on talking about that, man.
Yeah.
That is cool. Do that more. We love that. I know it costs money to like shut shit down in Cleveland or shut shit down in Utah. Well, not in Utah. There's nothing out there. But, you know, New York, wherever. Yeah. Utah was like, oh, you guys, we didn't even know you guys shot out here until the movie dropped. Right? Yeah. But give me less blue and green screen and on location, man. I'm going to say it again. Hence why the Winter Soldier looks so damn good almost 10 years later. 4 buckets of popcorn. The only thing that I would say I needed more of, man, is like I wanted them to, I think like with you, I wanted them to explore Sentry more. It just kind of came and went, and I was really excited to see this character because, you know, from the comics, super powerful, test of time, all this stuff. So I think that's where the one gripe that I have as well there.
Cool.
Thank you for subscribing to this week's episode, Talking Through Thunderbolts. Next week, we'll be discussing the Tom Hardy film, Havoc.
That's streaming on Netflix.
Like always, I'm Clyde Smith. You can find me across all socials. I am Clyde D. Smith.
I am Javier Villalobos. You can find me across all socials at Mr. J8200.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
And like always, keep watching.
Asterix, the New Avengers.